Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers allude that Sonny Corinthos' plot to end Jen Sidwell permanently could put Lucas Jones and Jocelyn Jacks in peril. Now that Sidwell's got blackmail material he can hold over Sonny's head, he's crossing a perilous line. Sonny isn't someone who allows a villain like Sidwell to hold all the cards indefinitely. Since Sonny is used to being in charge, he'll clearly work to recapture control of the situation. That may include conniving Sidwell's fatal downfall, but Lucas and Jocelyn could both end up in peril as this feud escalates. With Lucas living at Windmere and Jocelyn using him as part of her WSB charge, they'll be nearly tied to any Sidwell chaos that might erupt. Just like suckers saw with the attack on Sonny's extension, there's the implicit for unanticipated victims like Michael Corinthos to get hurt. Christina Corinthos Davis also got trapped in the fire at Charlie's Cantina until Marco Rios came to her deliverance. It's the norm for innocent characters to get dragged into mob mayhem on GH, so that could be the case this time as well. You Can Go Sonny will find a way to avenge against Sidwell, so that could mean taking Jason Morgan's suggestion to wipe him off the chart fully. It may be the only way to stop Sidwell for good. Unfortunately, there could be some unexpected consequences if Lucas and Jocelyn get caught in the crossfire. It's easy to imagine Lucas inadvertently landing in dangerous circumstances and Jocelyn facing extreme peril too by trying to save him. That could lead to Jack Brennan facing Carly Spencer's wrath for letting Jocelyn get injured. Plus, Carly might wind up furious with Sonny and Jason for not being careful enough. All the Sidwell, Sonny, and Laura Collins fermentation could balloon into far worse drama, so stick with us for updates on any awful news ahead. No matter how it all plays out, General Hospital spoilers suggest Sonny's revenge could bring some marvels if it goes wrong. Port Charles woke to a sky heavy with clouds, the kind that hinted at storms but still carried a strange kind of calm. The Corinthos compound mirrored that odd quiet, holding its breath as if it already sensed something terrible but inevitable was coming. Sonny Corinthos stood in the center of the living room, adjusting the cuffs of his black shirt, the kind he wore when he needed to show power and project steadiness. Today was supposed to be about a baptism, a sacred moment meant to offer blessings, hope, and family unity. A moment of peace. But peace in Sonny's world never came without a price. Sonny kept pacing, glancing every few moments out the windows toward the courtyard where chairs were being arranged for the ceremony. The plan was simple: close circle of family, controlled environment, guards everywhere, no surprises. Except Port Charles never obeyed the rules. He had tried to keep his mind on the baptism all morning, but every time he forced his attention back to the upcoming ceremony, Sidwell's face crept back into focus, smug, taunting, and dangerous. Sidwell wasn't just a threat anymore, he had crossed too many lines, pushed too many boundaries, and treated Sonny's family like weapons in a war no one asked for. Every time Sonny blinked, he could still hear Sidwell's threats murmured like poison. "Your family is mine. I pull the strings now." Sonny closed his eyes and steadied himself. "No. Not today. No man threatens my family. Not ever again." He thought he had handled Sidwell. He thought the warnings had been enough. But Sidwell had come back swinging harder, taking risks Sonny hadn't predicted, creating chaos Sonny couldn't ignore. And today, on the day meant for water, prayer, and redemption, Sidwell had chosen violence. Sonny didn't know how he knew, only that he felt it in his bones. Sidwell wouldn't let this day pass quietly. There would be a confrontation. There always was. But Sonny had no idea just how far Sidwell was prepared to go, or how far he would be forced to go in return. 2. Encouraging words before the storm. Inside the nursery upstairs, Willow and Michael were adjusting the baby's outfit, trying to keep the atmosphere light. The baptism robe was a small, silky piece of white fabric, delicate and pure, the kind of garment that symbolized everything hopeful. Willow gently smoothed the wrinkles and whispered a blessing she'd memorized as a child, her voice quivering slightly despite her efforts. Michael placed a hand on her shoulder. "Hey," he murmured, "everything's okay. Today is about new beginnings." Willow nodded, though her eyes already revealed something else: fear. She felt tension vibrate through the walls of the house. She grew up around chaos, she knew what unspoken dread felt like. "Your father seems distracted," she said carefully. Michael exhaled slowly. "He's just being protective. Dad always amps up security for days like this." Willow didn't fully buy it. Sonny wasn't simply amped up. He was bracing himself. And Willow knew enough about Sonny's world to recognize the signs. Still, she forced herself to believe today could end beautifully. "You're right," she whispered. "Today's about blessings. New life. A fresh path. Not danger." Michael kissed her forehead. "That's the spirit. Let's hold on to it." Willow managed a small smile. She wanted to believe those encouraging words, wanted to cling to the idea that the baptism was a new start the whole family desperately needed. She didn't know that across town, Sidwell was loading a gun. 3. Sidwell's final threat. Sidwell stood alone inside a darkened warehouse, the kind of isolated place that reeked of damp concrete and desperation. His hands moved quickly as he checked the weapon he held, a sleek, polished handgun with a suppressor attached. His face was composed but his eyes told the truth, he was unraveling. Everything he tried against Sonny Corinthos had failed. Every scheme, every attempt at control, every blackmail move, Sonny had pushed back harder. Sidwell had underestimated him. Badly. And now Sidwell was cornered. But desperate men didn't surrender. They destroyed. Sidwell lifted the gun and whispered to himself like a mantra. "If Sonny won't bow to me, he'll break. I'll shatter his peace, starting with his precious family event." He slid the weapon into his jacket and grabbed a burner phone. One text. One message. One final attempt to shake Sonny to his core. "I'm coming for what you love most. You can't stop me." He clicked send. Then he walked out of the warehouse, ready to interrupt a baptism with bloodshed. 4. Baptism begins, and the world shifts. Guests began to gather in the courtyard. Soft music drifted through the air, mixed with the murmuring of family members catching up. The priest stood near the small table prepared with holy water, oil, and the candle for the ceremony. It was serene, almost too serene. Sonny arrived with the baby in his arms, Michael and Willow flanking him, the priest smiling warmly as the ceremony began. "Today we welcome this child into faith, into community, into protection," the priest announced in a gentle voice. Sonny felt a slight tug in his chest. Protection. Wasn't that his entire life? His calling? His curse? He swallowed hard and tightened his hold on the baby. The priest continued. "Family surrounds us. Love surrounds us. In moments like this, we remember that light always overcomes darkness." Sonny nodded, eyes drifting around the perimeter. His guards were posted. No movement. No sign of Sidwell. For a moment, a brief, fragile moment, Sonny allowed himself to believe everything might be okay. Willow wiped a tear as the priest began the blessing. Michael squeezed her hand. The baby cooed softly. Then, a shadow shifted behind the courtyard archway. Sonny's head snapped up. One more second. Another. And Sidwell stepped into view, dressed in black, hand sliding into his coat. Sonny's blood ran cold. The warning shout, and the ambush. "Down!" Sonny shouted, voice booming like a thunderclap. Chaos erupted instantly. Guests screamed. Chairs toppled. Michael grabbed Willow and shielded her as he dove to the ground with the baby. Sonny lunged forward, his instincts firing faster than conscious thought. He saw the glint of Sidwell's gun before it was fully drawn. Sidwell's lips curled into a cruel grin. "See? Even a baptism can't save you today, Corinthos." He raised the weapon. But Sonny was already moving. He grabbed the heavy baptismal table and flipped it sideways, knocking the holy water across the stone tiles as he used the table as a temporary shield. Sidwell fired. A bullet chipped the stone behind Sonny. More screams. More chaos. Guards raced forward, but Sidwell fired again, hitting one in the shoulder. Sonny ducked behind the pillar, breathing hard. His mind churned with one thought. He's going to hurt them. He'll kill them if I don't stop him. Sidwell stalked forward slowly, confidently, savoring the terror he was creating. Come out, Sonny, he taunted. Let's finish this. 6. Encouraging words from an unlikely source. Sonny's heart hammered, but then he heard her voice, the last voice he expected in that moment. Sonny. Listen to me. It was Carly. She had been standing near the entrance, frozen at first, but now she was creeping toward Sonny's hiding spot. What the hell are you doing? Sonny hissed. Get back. Get down. Carly ignored him, crouching next to him behind the pillar. You're not doing this alone, she said, eyes fierce. You protect everyone. You carry everything. But Sonny, you're not alone today. He stared at her, breathing shaking with adrenaline. Her voice softened. Look at me. You know how to end this. You've done it before. You can do it now. You protect this family like nobody else ever could. She gripped his shoulder. End him. Today. For all of us. Sonny closed his eyes briefly. Those were the encouraging words he didn't know he needed. He rose slowly, drawing his own gun. 7. Sidwell's final angry threats. Sidwell moved to the center of the courtyard, rotating in a slow circle as if he enjoyed the power. Come out, you coward, he roared. Or I'll start picking them off one by one. He pointed his gun at Michael and Willow's direction. Sonny's vision blurred with rage. Sidwell sneered. You think you're untouchable? You think your family is safe? I own your fear. He fired another shot, this one hitting a flower pot inches from Michael's head. Willow sobbed, shielding the baby. Sidwell cackled. One scream and the whole Corinthos clan collapses. Pathetic. Sonny felt something inside him snap. 8. The showdown. Sonny stepped out from behind the pillar, gun raised, eyes locked onto Sidwell with lethal calm. Sidwell, Sonny growled. It ends now. Sidwell froze, then smirked. Finally decided to show up. He raised his gun too. The courtyard held its breath. You threatened my family, Sonny said, voice steady but fueled by fire. You tried to ruin their peace. On this day, you came to spill blood. Sidwell shrugged. Why not? They're your weakness. No, Sonny replied quietly. They're why I'm about to stop you forever. Sidwell opened his mouth to retort. But Sonny fired first. One shot. Straight to Sidwell's chest. Sidwell stumbled, shock twisting his features. He dropped his gun, hands trembling as he looked at Sonny with wide, disbelieving eyes. You shot me. You forced my hand, Sonny said. Sidwell fell to his knees, gasping, then collapsed onto the ground. Sonny approached slowly, gun still raised. Sidwell coughed, blood on his lips. This isn't over. Someone else will. Sonny fired again. Silence. Sidwell lay still. 9. The sacred and the dead, a moment frozen in time. The courtyard was quiet now, the chaos slowly settling, the horror still fresh. The priest stared in shock, gripping his Bible tightly. Guests whispered nervously, trembling, shaken. Michael rose, helping Willow and the baby to their feet. Carly approached Sonny cautiously. Are you okay? Sonny didn't answer. He stared at Sidwell's body with a strange mix of relief and devastation. He had protected his family. He had ended the threat. But he had killed a man, in the middle of a baptism. He whispered, I didn't want this today. Not like this. Carly nodded softly. You did what you had to. And you saved everyone here. Willow stepped forward slowly, holding the baby close. Sonny, you saved us. Even the priest eventually stepped closer, clearing his throat. "Mr. Corinthos," he said hesitantly, "violence has no place in sacred ceremonies. But God also sees the heart. And your heart today was to protect. That is not a sin." Sonny finally looked up. "Can we finish the baptism?" The priest hesitated, then nodded. "Yes. A baptism in the aftermath of blood." The courtyard was cleaned quickly. Guards removed Sidwell's body. Chairs were reset. Guests regained their composure. Some were shaken beyond words, but they stayed, because family stayed. The priest raised the holy water once more. "Even when darkness tries to creep in," he said, glancing momentarily at the now empty stone tiles where Sidwell had fallen, "light perseveres." Sonny stood behind Michael and Willow as the priest held the baby. Tears shimmered in Sonny's eyes, not of sadness, not of guilt, but of sheer overwhelming relief. The priest gently poured water over the baby's forehead. "I baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." A collective breath filled the courtyard. Blessing. Renewal. Hope. Sonny closed his eyes. "This is what I fight for," he thought. "This is what I protect." And even though today had nearly ended in tragedy, the baptism's sacred light pushed back the shadows. 11. Aftermath, and a new ominous warning. Later that night, Sonny sat alone on the terrace, staring at the city lights. The baptism had ended peacefully, but the image of Sidwell falling replayed in his mind. He didn't regret pulling the trigger, he never would. But something felt unfinished. Footsteps approached. It was Dex. "You okay?" Dex asked, leaning on the railing. Sonny didn't respond at first. Then, "Who was Sidwell working for?" Sonny asked quietly. Dex hesitated. "We don't know yet. But, we found something." He handed Sonny a phone recovered from Sidwell's pocket. One message stood out. Sent to an unknown contact. A name hidden behind a string of numbers. The message read, "If I don't return, you know what to do. Corinthos falls next." Sonny's jaw clenched. There was someone else. Someone bigger. Someone worse. And Sidwell's death was only the beginning. 12. A final prayer, before war ignites. Sonny stood and walked back toward the nursery where the baby slept. He placed a hand gently on the crib. "I'll protect you," he whispered. "No matter what comes next." Behind him, Carly watched quietly. "You did good today," she said. "Today was just round one," Sonny said without turning. His voice was low, steady, chilling. "When Sidwell died, someone else woke up." Carly swallowed hard. "Then we fight," she said. Sonny nodded. "Yeah," he murmured. "We fight. For family. For Port Charles. For everything that matters." He exhaled, closing his eyes. "Because the baptism may have brought blessings." His eyes opened slowly, sharp and cold. "But what's coming now will bring war." General Hospital spoilers are in for Monday, December 8, 2025. In the coming occasion, suckers can anticipate Valentine Cassadine to ambush Carly Spencer. Ned Quartermain has a heart-to-heart with Brooklyn Quartermain. Plus, Jocelyn Jacks makes a horrifying realization: Carly Spencer's intruder lets launch with Carly, who went home to hear funny noises. The Golden seized a fire poker to check it out. It is end of thievery, but Valentine. The man looks enough roughed up, and now he's an escaped fugitive. Indeed, though Carly and Valentine are working together to master Jack Brennan, this wasn't part of the plan. Carly will push back and tell him that he needs to leave her house incontinently. Still, Val looks enough deranged. Carly has reason to worry. Still, a lot of people in Port Charles will see Valentine as a major trouble now that he's escaped prison. Jocelyn Jack's consummation. Speaking of being concerned, over at the WSB office, Jocelyn was having a tense discussion with Jack. But an uncritical phone call intruded that discussion. That's likely the news that Val has escaped. Jocelyn will sweat the worst and realize her mama is in grave peril. Dante Falconeri's warning at the police station. Dante Falconeri missions Nathan West on what's going on with Valentine. The manager says that there's nothing Val wouldn't do to get to Charlotte Cassadine. He's not wrong. The father and son are still super close, they've an unbreakable bond. However, she might in a flash if Valentine told Charlotte to go out on the run with him again. Lulu Spencer panics. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, December 8th, reveal that Lulu Spencer will be scarified. The Golden runs out the door, yelling for Charlotte Cassadine to come back outside during an exercise clip for the cleaner. Dante will probably warn Lulu to Valentine's escape, and the mama will horrify. She eventually has her son back, but the last thing she wants is to lose her again. Lucas Jones and Marco Rios romance during a GH exercise clip for Monday's show. Marco and Lucas are having regale. Marco tries his stylish to love Lucas. Still, during the discussion, Lucas snaps at his swain and says he's not going to pretend else. Could this discussion be about Carly? Alexis Davis advised as for what differently to anticipate during the December 8th occasion. The GH spoilers tease that Alexis Davis gets a warning. This warning could be about Valentine. Everyone in the little city will be on guard as news of Valentine's escape spreads. Still, Valentine and Alexis have always gotten along, so there's really no need for her to worry about him attacking her. With that said, she doesn't need the trouble of him asking for help. Of course, the warning appertained to in the spoilers could be another trouble or order from Drew Kane. Ned Quartermain's heart-to-heart also. Brooke Lynn and Ned have a heart-to-heart. With gashes in her eyes, the brunette admits what she regrets the most. This seems like a touching moment between the father and son. There has been a lot of conflict in the Quartermain family recently. So, this scene does feel veritably gladdening and positive. General Hospital spoilers and updates suggest that Brad Cooper may have actually taken the drastic step of pulling the detector on Drew Kane. Could it be that Selena Wu has been intimately fixing Brad to become a mob hitman? Selena did bring Brad into the mob and trained him. Although he was reticent when Selena originally brought Brad into the mob, she honored significant eventuality within him. It's possible that Brad has returned to Selena's association and is now being constrained into carrying out her unrighteous tasks. Selena is known for her tenacity and doesn't fluently accept turndown, which means that if she were to hang Brad sufficiently, he might feel he has no option but to misbehave. Given that Brad has been absent from the screen for a while, it's presumptive that he has been witnessing training for a veritably dark part. In the occasion of GH Raising on December 3rd, a flashback revealed Selena finishing the agreement that Curtis Ashford had supported for. Curtis wanted Drew dead that night. Curtis was adamant that he wanted Drew excluded that veritably night, egging Selena to assure him that it would be taken care of within a bare 2 hours. Furthermore, Selena indicated to having the ideal seeker for the task, indicating that she easily had someone particular in mind for this assignment. What if Brad returned home alongside Selena and was eventually assigned with erasing Drew from actuality? This could potentially clarify why the mega hit went amiss, as it seems like the kind of boob a reluctant hitman like Brad would commit. Given that Brad has a tendency to complicate nearly every aspect of his life, it stands to reason that he might have also faltered while executing Selena's directives. Further flashbacks may be ahead on the show. There could potentially be indeed more astonishing flashbacks on the horizon if observers ultimately substantiation scenes of Brad pulling the trigger. However, he might just hold the key to unraveling the riddle girding Drew's fate, if Selena indeed dragooned Brad into taking this drastic action. Naturally, we must also entertain the idea that Brad arrived at the scene for a different purpose and simply observed the firing unfold. Before he'd the chance to exclude Drew, he may have seen someone additional take that fatal shot. It's entirely possible that Brad fled the crime scene without staying to confirm whether this other shooter had completed the job on Drew. Viewers witnessed Curtis confessing to Jordan that he called off the mega hit, but perhaps it's a taradiddle. Observers witnessed Curtis confessing to Jordan Ashford that he'd originally hired Selena to carry out the assassination of Drew, only to laterally have a change of heart and cancel the line transfer. Still, one must wonder why there are flashbacks depicting him hiring her, yet none showing him renouncing that decision and halting the payment. We should presumably approach Curtis' claim to Jordan about canceling the hit with a healthy cure of dubitation. Maybe the size of a steed lozenge. Anyhow, the situation, the fall exercise information has suggested at Brad's impending return, so we will keep you posted on any jaw-dropping developments that may accompany his comeback.